Today we are learning how to sew a pillow. This kind of activity is good for kids aged 7+, but if you're younger you might need your mum or dad to help thread and knot a needle. What you'll need is fleece or wool fabric, cardboard, a marker, paper, scissors, a needle, a few pins, thread, fabric, scissors, and stuffing or fabric scraps. Place the cardboard over 2 layers of fabric and trace around your template with a marker. Once you've done that, you want to pin your 2 pieces of fabric together. Now the next step is optional. I wanted to add a handle to my heart, so I'm going to trim a strip along the edge of my fabric. Fold the strip in half and this will be sandwiched inside the heart. You want to pin this in place. The next step is to trim 1 centimeter away from the line you have drawn. Make sure not to cut the line because it will act as your guide for sewing. Now it's time to prep your needle. I recommend picking a contrasting coloured thread so you can see your stitches. You want to measure out your thread arm to arm. These next 2 steps you might need to grab your mum and dad to help, but give it a go first. You want to thread the eye of the needle by pushing the thread through the tiny hole and grabbing it once it goes through. Now match up the ends and tie a double knot like so. I also like to cut off excess thread. Now that we've prepped the needle, we can begin sewing. Pick a point to start sewing from. I picked the bottom of the heart. So we'll be doing the basic running stitch, which involves putting the needle in on one side and bring it back on the other. So you want to go in and come back out. Take your time sewing, and when you're bringing the needle back, you can check that the thread is going through the right spot before you pull it. When you reach the handle, you want to make your stitches small like mine to ensure that your handle is sewn securely in place. Okay, so don't be like me where I left the thread too short to do my regular knot. When you start to run out of thread, keep at least 2 finger lengths of thread left and ask your parent to help tie a knot. If you'd like to see how I do my secure knot, then you can skip ahead to the timestamp on the screen and then come back to continue the video. You will need to cut and thread your needle again to continue sewing. Now remember, you don't want to sew all the way to the starting point because you need to leave an opening for the stuffing. And if you have enough thread to close up the pillow, I recommend keeping the thread attached and be mindful not to stab yourself with the needle when flipping the pillow right sides out. For my pillow, I will use fabric scraps from a previous project I worked on. If you are using fabric as your pillow filler, then you want to cut it into small pieces, not too big and not too small. Just enough that the fabric doesn't look lumpy when you're putting it inside your pillow. To close up the stuffing opening, we will use an invisible stitch, also known as a ladder stitch. It requires making 1 stitch through only 1 layer, then crossing over to the other fabric layer to make 1 stitch too. So you want to make sure to keep your stitches consistent and continue to cross over after making 1 stitch on each side, and you'll start to see a ladder form. When you pull the thread tight, the opening will close and the fabric will bundle a little. You just need to stretch it back out, and once you've reached the end, you want to finish off your sewing with a secure knot. You want to put the needle halfway through the fabric and wrap the thread 2 to 3 times around the needle and pull it tight. Now that you have completed sewing up your pillow, it's up to you if you want to add any details like buttons, lace, or embroider any words on it. So thanks for watching. We hope you've enjoyed our craft videos, some of which we've taught in community workshops and after school classes. Feel free to leave comments of what craft projects you'd like to see with the materials in your homes. Would you like to see more sewing videos, paper crafts, knitting, weaving, origami, colouring or painting, or zentangling, which we like to incorporate into our crafts? You can throw ideas our way and we can create videos showing you how to make it. We hope you have enjoyed our videos so far. Be sure to give us a like and share so other people like yourself will check out more of our videos. And please be safe and remember to wash your hands before handling food or touching your face. See you in the next video.